Woody Point, it's just around the corner from Scott's Point. It's on the southern side of the peninsula, Redcliffe Peninsula. I've done a YouTube video covering this area. You see the gravel there to the left. Well, I actually fished just to the eastern side of that gravel and burleyed up and had quite a good sessioning. The reason the fish come in here is because of the structure, the weed and the rocks. You turn a lot of these rocks over and you'll find rock crabs everywhere. You'll find those little green paddle worms everywhere. And in the weed there's just a myriad of small little fish and other little crustaceans. So that's why the fish come in. It's a great little feeding ground for them, particularly at high tide, as you can see. The depth here is at low tide. It goes out a long way. You can wade at low tide, and you wade into between your knee and your waist deep and fish for flathead. Very good flathead grounds. And on the top of the tide I chase bream from the actual foreshore. That's the Woody Point jetty there. Absolutely loaded with fishers every morning and every evening. A lot of shark fishing happening off there in the summertime and a lot of squid fishing in the wintertime. Pick up and a drop. It's picking it up again now. Swimming away with it. Just got to eat it. Yes, and there we have it. We're on again. Oh, get off of there. How good is that? And he's gone like last week's pay. This first little section here is a bit of an overview on Scott's Point. You can see in the distance there, that's the little rocky outcrop that everybody fishes at low tide. And it swings around onto a beautiful beach that's great for families as well as serious fishers there. Although you don't see too many people fishing off the beach in this part of the world. I don't know why. It is a very, very good spot to fish. This is located just to the north of Woody Point. You've got the green zone right outside Woody Point. The green zone actually starts on that rocky outcrop where everybody fishes. You can see a pole there. I think the pole's still there. If you look hard in this shot, you can see that dark, reefy, patchy area. Well, those dark patch, that's all rock and weed. Absolutely fantastic. It's like home for the bream, home for the flathead. It's a great little look at the rock crop that everybody fishes out the point at Scott's Point. It doesn't actually pan around to the yellow buoy. Oh, you can see the yellow buoy if you look really hard, I think, on the far left of the screen. Well, the pole, that starts just to the south of where you can see those little tiny dots fishing there. Well, that pole on that second little outcrop, that runs that yellow buoy that I was talking about earlier. You've got a walkway down to the beach. Scott's Point is an excellent access spot, whether you've got little kids, big kids, or you're a serious fisher. It's a great spot to fish. That's a really good overview of the reefy area as the tide's coming in, just flooding those rocks there. You can see how quickly that drops off and how you don't need to throw very far to catch a feed of fish at this location. A lot of people seem to throw their little hearts out here and throw over the top of where every fish is hiding and feeding. Those fish are right at your feet here at these rocks. We're just flying into the green zone now. This is an awesome part of the world. I can't believe it's not flooded with kayakers and the like. Having a bit of paddle around here. It's just perfect this time of year. A little bit cool in the water, but hey, you don't get too wet in a kayak. The westerly winds chase all the weed and the rubbish out of the water and really clear up our waterways on this side of the peninsula. It's a fantastic spot in the wintertime. As we pan up, you can see Woody Point there, and if you look a long way into the distance, you can see Fisherman's Island. We've turned the drone around and we're looking back toward where you can actually fish. We're no longer looking at the green zone now. This is from the south, flying north over the actual fishing location that everybody uses there at the point. That point you can catch snapper, tailor, bream, flathead, trevally, squid, you name it, you can catch it on that point. There's some really good coffee rock areas and there's really good weedy areas, particularly in the winter time when the water's nice and clear. You can see those areas really well, and you just fish off to the sides of them and you easily pick up your flathead. So there's a little flathead, about 45 to 50 centimetres. That was released to live another day. Somebody else can catch that and have a feed. Keep your eyes on the foreshores just for the moment, and you'll see the foreshores there are quite rough and rocky. It looks it. There are plenty of places to find yourself a nice soft sandy plot to sit and throw your unweighted baits out into the structure. Now you will get some snags. You won't totally avoid the snags, but my goodness, hold on, because there are a lot of big bream that hunt the shallows in and around this rough structure. If you really take note of the middle of the screen here, you can see those darker shapes. Well, those darker shapes is the reef system that runs right throughout this area. So the two main species that I chase here are bream and snapper through the winter. The other species that I chase here, bream. The bream are awfully big out here at Scarborough, which exactly what you want. No weight or very lightweight for both snapper and bream, and you'll get amongst it. So like anywhere, the time of day that I like fishing Scarborough is first light and last light. From about, in the winter time, it doesn't get light here until about 6:15, so from about 5:30 through till about 8:30, that's the time that I like to target snapper and bream. So just in relation to tides, you've got low tide, mid tide and high tide. All the tides you can find a place to fish up here. The opportunities are everywhere at any tide. Low tide, I do like to collect my bait at low tide, so my worms, and I'll throw a cast net for herring. Whether you're boat based or land based, this is one of my favourite little squidding spots. This rock wall that we're looking at here in the winter time, very easy to cast from. You know, as long as the water's from about mid tide up, so from mid tide right up through to high tide, back onto mid tide out, great spot to go squidding. Here you can actually see the fins, and on some mornings of the bream swimming and hunting for the crustaceans and the worms in amongst the structure and the rock and the mud. High tide, you can fish this place gets a little bit harder at high tide, especially if you're wading through the structure, because the tide comes right into the cliffs, so it limits where you're moving if you haven't got waders on. But if you have got good boots or waders, you can move around, and high tide is absolute premium time. You get your snapper that come right in close enough casting distance off the shore through your high tide, so the top 2 hours of the tide. In relation to seasons, we'll go warmer months, colder months. In the warmer months, I chase whiting and bream and flathead. The snapper are still around, but they're a little bit harder to find in the warmer months. In the cooler months, it's bream and snapper. So as we pan around here, you can see the line in the sand. That line in the sand is a sandbank that is completely exposed at low tide, and as the tide runs in, it gets covered. But for a good probably 6 hours every tide, that's completely exposed. You can walk right out there. That's one of my favourite little flathead spots. So that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't, hit the like button for me. If you haven't already, subscribe.